Alright, what's up my peeps? Chris Jericho versus CM Punk Extreme Rules 2012. This is my prediction game video for this match. And first off, I just gotta say, this match should be freaking great. You know, their WrestleMania 28 match was great. This one should be even better. You know, just because they've added the Chicago street fight stipulation. So there's no rules. They can use objects, they can use steel chairs, all that good stuff. Tables. I assume they're going to use tables. They might not. I don't know, but it should be just a great match, especially, you know, with a crowd like the Chicago crowd. Not saying the Miami crowd was bad, because that's definitely not the case. The Miami crowd was great, and the Chicago crowd should be just as good, or even better. I don't know. We'll see this Sunday. And right off the bat, I've got to say, this match is the longest single-player match I've ever had. This lasted not 40, but almost 40 minutes. This is a single-player match. It's not an online match. So it's definitely the longest one I've had. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna separate this into 3 parts. This being the first part. And yeah, long-ass match. So man. This feud has actually been pretty good. I've been, enjoying the feud. Jericho, though, ever since his return, has been kind of disappointing in the fact that he hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything special. I mean, their match, like I said, was great at WrestleMania, but the guys lost every single big match, every single pay-per-view match since returning. He returned. He trolled us all. Then come pay-per-view time, come the Rumble. You know, he was number 2. A lot of us thought Jericho was going to win the Rumble. I really thought Jericho was going to win the Rumble. He was my #1 pick. And then, come Rumble time, him and Sheamus were the last 2 guys. So I was like, okay, hopefully, Chris Jericho wins this. The smarter choice is, I guess, make Sheamus win. He's the young guy. He's never won the Rumble. Well, Jericho hasn't won the Rumble either. But Sheamus has much more to gain of winning the Rumble, while Jericho, he's pretty much done it all. But the fan in me, and I'm a big Jericho fan, I really wanted Jericho to win, and then Sheamus ended up winning, so I was, disappointed with that. I was bummed with that. And then it was time for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Chris Jericho was part of the Raw Elimination Chamber match, as well as CM Punk. It was for the championship. And I thought that, okay, this time Jericho's gonna win. Jericho's gonna win the championship. So at WrestleMania, that way, he can face CM Punk at WrestleMania because he's just won the title. So CM Punk would then invoke his rematch clause at WrestleMania, so they could have their Best in the World versus Best in the World match at WrestleMania. Come Elimination Chamber time, Jericho loses. Kind of. He got knocked out. He didn't get pinned or submitted, but got knocked out and got carried away from the matchup. So he didn't technically lose. Kind of. I don't know. He got carried away, like I said. And then, they made Jericho the #1 contender in a battle royale. So it didn't matter really that he didn't win at the Elimination Chamber, because at the end of the day, he was facing CM Punk at WrestleMania. I mean, even when he lost at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, I knew he was going to face CM Punk. I just thought that Jericho was going to win the title, in this feud. So CM Punk would invoke his rematch clause at WrestleMania, like I said. But anyways, he becomes #1 contender. Come WrestleMania time, at this point, WrestleMania, I was predicting CM Punk would win. I wasn't predicting Jericho was going to win. There was a slight chance, I thought maybe there's a slight chance Jericho could win, but I had a feeling that CM Punk was going to retain, and that Jericho would win at Extreme Rules. So after WrestleMania, CM Punk wins, Jericho loses. That was expected, by me at least. And then the next couple of weeks, you have Jericho, first off, breaking a bottle over CM Punk's head, pouring alcohol on his face. He has the advantage pretty much every single week after WrestleMania. From attacking him to, like I said, pouring alcohol over his face, to getting the advantage over him in promos, getting in his head, playing mind games. Yeah, he had the momentum. And usually when it's so one-sided like that, when somebody in a feud, in a storyline, gets the advantage every single week against that other guy going into the matchup, what ends up happening is he loses. The face gets his redemption. or in some cases the heel wins the match because the face had the advantage every single week going into that match. Just like before WrestleMania 28, Jericho had the advantage over CM Punk every single week. So that's why I thought, okay, CM Punk was gonna retain that match, retain the championship at WrestleMania, and he did. So going into Extreme Rules, I was like, okay, CM Punk's gonna win this once again, and they're probably gonna end, this feud, this storyline between these two, and maybe, they could both move on and go feud with somebody else. But then came this past Raw, with the sobriety test, where they thought, okay, CM Punk's drinking, and CM Punk got the advantage. He fooled Jericho, he fooled us all. Pretending that he was drunk, and then, apparently he did all of that just to get at Jericho so he can get him in the ring, and he waited until the officers got out of the ring so he can attack him, beat him up. So going into Extreme Rules, the last Raw, CM Punk now has the advantage. He has the momentum leading up to the pay-per-view, kind of. For the most part, Jericho had the momentum, but that last Raw, CM Punk got the, one-up Jericho. So that's when this whole, like, me wondering if Jericho's gonna win after all, or CM Punk's gonna win. This is where all this, started. Because just before this past Raw, I was thinking, okay, like I said, CM Punk would win this. But now, I could see both these guys winning this. See, it's in Chicago. It's in CM Punk's hometown. CM Punk has been, unlike most superstars, CM Punk has been very successful in his hometown. If you look at Survivor Series 06, that was in Chicago, CM Punk's hometown, and there was a 5-on-5 Survivor Series tag team match, a classic Survivor Series match. On one hand, you had Team DX, which was Triple H, the Hardy Boys, Shawn Michaels, and CM Punk, and then they were facing off against Team Rated RKO, which was Edge, Randy Orton, Gregory Helms, Mike Knox, and somebody else. I think it was Johnny Nitro, who's now known as John Morrison, even though he's not with the company. And, like I said, that was in Chicago, and the whole freaking match, this match involved DX, by the way. DX was in that match. They were in as DX. DX had reformed, and the crowd was cheering for CM Punk the whole freaking match. They weren't cheering for DX, they were cheering for CM Punk, their hometown hero. And, Team DX, CM Punk ended up winning that match. And actually, I think they won the match without a single elimination in their match. Every single person of Team DX, didn't get eliminated. They stayed in the match. And, on top of that, you had CM Punk versus William Regal for the Intercontinental Championship. The first time CM Punk won the IC title was against William Regal, and was in Chicago as well. So that's the second instance where CM Punk is in Chicago and he wins in his hometown, unlike other superstars who most of the time lose in their hometown. I don't know why the company is so likes to make superstars lose in their hometowns, but whatever. And also, you can't forget, just recently, last year, CM Punk versus John Cena, Money in the Bank, Chicago. CM Punk was leaving, so we all thought, well, not all of us actually, but a lot of people thought that CM Punk was going to lose since he was leaving. Ended up that he wasn't leaving, and he won in the Chicago, in Chicago. So he won the WWE Championship and left. Well, actually, he didn't really leave. He did sign a contract that day, but storyline-wise, he left. But anyway, so those are a bunch of instances where he won in Chicago. I might be missing some, and he might have lost in Chicago in the past, but I can't remember it. But yeah, as you can see, CM Punk's been successful in Chicago. So that's one reason why I could see CM Punk winning. Another reason is, the Chicago crowd, they love CM Punk. They also love Daniel Bryan, and they're especially going to love Daniel Bryan, this time around when the whole yes thing, the whole yes phenomena is starting, and everybody's chanting yes. So, with Daniel Bryan probably losing this Sunday, you know, they're gonna boo that, so that's not gonna make them happy. But they also have CM Punk, you know, another, you know, Daniel Bryan isn't a hometown, you know, he's not from Chicago, he's not a hometown guy, but Chicago does cheer for whoever they want to cheer, whether it's a face or heel. But yeah, you know, I don't, you know, it's hard to imagine. I don't think they would make Daniel Bryan lose in Chicago and also CM Punk lose. The last time they were in Chicago, both Daniel Bryan and CM Punk lost, and Daniel Bryan was nowhere near as popular as he is right now. So, but anyways, is there any other reasons why I could see CM Punk winning this? Well, yeah, actually, I think, you know, CM Punk is gonna feud down the line with Lord Sensei for the championship. So that's another reason why I think, you know, CM Punk would retain the title here. Lord Sensei actually means Tensai. I think the Tensai part means natural disaster or disaster. And at some point, a couple of Raws back, when CM Punk was defending the title against Mark Henry, and then he lost by countout, you know, John Laurinaitis came out and said, you know, I see some natural disasters coming your way. So he might have been talking about Lord Sensei. I mean, why not? You know, Lord Sensei, they've been pushing him. They haven't been beating John Cena, beating everybody on the roster. Well, not really, but he did beat R-Truth, Yoshitatsu. Yeah, Yoshitatsu doesn't mean much. You know, if you get a victory over him, it's not that insane, actually. You know, these days, Yoshitatsu is pretty much a jobber. I remember when he was in ECW, he wasn't really a jobber. He was actually competing for the title at some point. Well, actually, he had one match, I think, for the title against Christian. But anyways, yeah, I see CM Punk, you know, maybe beating Chris Jericho here and feuding with Lord Sensei afterwards for the championship. I think this is the end of the feud if CM Punk wins. And also, another reason why I think CM Punk would win this is Jericho leaving. Jericho is going to leave before SummerSlam. He has tours with Fozzy. Apparently those tours are going to be in June, so that's pretty damn soon. May. So that's... He has one more month, and if he's going to stay... So he's going to stay for May, and maybe half of June. Maybe in... I don't know if he's going to stay for the entire month of June, but basically he doesn't have much time left. He's going to leave again. I don't know when he's going to come back, but yeah, he's going to leave, which sucks. So, if he is going to leave, I don't think they're going to put the championship on him so close to him leaving. Instead, you know, I'm pretty sure CM Punk's going to win here. They end their feud, and then Jericho has one last feud before, you know, taking his break once again. And I think that feud is going to be with John Cena. Hear me out on this. Here's what I think should happen, or, you know, might happen. They could have a feud between Jericho and John Cena. You know, John Cena, lately he's been on a losing streak, kind of. You know, he lost against The Rock. He lost against Lord Sensei. You know, that's only 2 matches. But you know why I'm talking about this as if it's a losing streak? It's because it's John Cena. It's not often John Cena loses 2 matches in a row. So, you know, John Cena's lost against Lord Sensei and The Rock. And I'm pretty sure he's going to lose at Extreme Rules against Brock Lesnar. So that's 3 guys in a row. And then he could have a match against Chris Jericho. And then he could lose that match. Jericho would win that match. Finally, Jericho would win a pay-per-view match. So then that'd be 4, you know, major, you know, top stars beating John Cena in a row. So the losing streak would continue. Then John Cena would get tired of it. He'd, you know, offer a rematch to Chris Jericho. Well, not offer. He'd request a rematch. You know, tell Jericho he wants a rematch. Jericho would refuse. And then John Laurinaitis would tell John Cena, alright, you're gonna get a rematch, but it's gonna be a loser leaves Raw match. So then John Cena could beat Chris Jericho in the rematch, and that way Jericho could have, I guess, a proper exit. He could leave after losing the match. But yeah, that's just fantasy booking. You know, it's not rumored anything like that. It's just, you know, something I could see maybe happening, and I'd like to see. And anyways, let's go to reasons why I think Jericho could win. There's not many of them, but on one hand, you know, they're in Chicago, like I said, and Jericho's a heel. If he wins against CM Punk, that'd be great for Jericho. He'd have a huge amount of heat. You know, the crowd would go insane. They'd boo the hell out of him for beating CM Punk. And another reason is, he's leaving soon, so maybe they want to give Jericho the title before he leaves. Maybe in his contract, he requested to win at least the championship once before leaving. So maybe they're going to put the title on him, at Extreme Rules, and then make him lose it at Over the Limit, which is the next pay-per-view against CM Punk or somebody else. So I think that's basically it when it comes to reasons why I think Jericho could win. I think those are the two. Or yeah, actually there's another reason, and that's Jericho has yet to get a victory over CM Punk. Other than that tag team victory he had with a roll-up, at WrestleMania he beat him, and if CM Punk beats him at Extreme Rules and they end the feud, then Jericho lost every big match against CM Punk. So maybe they're gonna give the victory finally to Jericho, so that way both Jericho and Punk got a win in the feud. And yeah, that's basically it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please click the like button / thumbs up button. I'm gonna make a goal of 25 likes for this video. And with that said, stay tuned for my other prediction game videos, and see ya.